Hare Krishna. My name is Rani and I'm a student at the ISKCON Boston Sunday School. I'm very honored and fortunate to interview Her Grace Vishakha Mataji. She's the director and screenwriter of the movie Hare Krishna, the mantra, the movement, and the song you started with all. Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances and all glories to Shrila Prabhupada. My first question is, could you please tell us more about the Hare Krishna movie?
Hare Krishna, Rani, very nice to meet you. Thank you for asking the questions. Glories to Shrila Prabhupada. So it took us, we had a team of 5 devotees working on the film, and it took us 4 years working every day to create the 90-minute film, Hare Krishna. And we felt very honored and privileged to be working on it. We had a tremendous amount of material to work with, so our biggest challenge was to find Prabhupada's story amongst all the material that we had to work with.
Thank you. My second question is, what was your inspiration to start this project?
In 1974, we asked Prabhupada if we could make a film of him. So his first answer was very humble. He said, what is the need? Because he was always promoting Krishna and Krishna consciousness and Hare Krishna, and he himself was in the background. So at first he said, what is the need? And then my husband and I, we said that people have heard of Hare Krishna, but they're curious. Who has introduced this movement in the Western world? And so he thought about that, and he said, then it is all right, we can make such a film.
My third question is, what were the challenges you faced during production?
As I mentioned, we had a tremendous amount of material to work with. We did our interviews with about 40 different people, so that was about 80 hours of material. Then we had archival footage from the 1960s. We went to India and we did reenactments of Prabhupada's childhood and when he met his spiritual master. We also had footage of the devotees, Prabhupada's followers, to work with. And we also had 1,800 hours of audio of Prabhupada. That means lectures and conversations. And our idea was that Prabhupada would tell his own story in his own words. But he never sat down and said, this is my story. He would say a few sentences here and there, and it came up in the course of the day. So we had to really hunt for those sentences where he told his own story. So the biggest challenge was finding the story amongst the huge amount of material that we had to work with.
My fifth question is, what were the emotions going on during production?
Well, there were many emotions. Part of the time I felt that we were really not qualified to do this film, that we should really hand it over to somebody who was qualified. But it was given to us, so we just kept persevering as best we could. And then sometimes we had differences amongst our little team, what to include and what not to include. And there was some confusion also about how to get it into 90 minutes. At first it was 2.5 hours, and it was very hard for us to make it 90 minutes. So there are many challenges between our team members, but ultimately, one person's weakness on the team was another person's strength. So we managed to work together at Krishna's grace.
My sixth question is, would you recommend all children to watch this movie?
A few weeks ago we showed the movie in San Jose, California, and there were many small children, and the movie means under 5 and under, and they could not sit still. And there was constant traffic that the parents were taking their children to the bathroom, and it became distracting. So I would humbly request the parents of small children to find babysitters so that they are not distracted and the other people who view the film are not distracted. But I have a grandson who's 8 years old, And he's seen it twice without moving. He sat through the whole thing twice. So it really depends on the child and the age. And certainly small children will be better off, I think, with a babysitter.
My seventh question is, you've met Šrila Prabhupada. What would have been his message for my generational children?
Well, it's hard to speculate on what Prabhupada would say. But from what I feel from Prabhupada, I think your generation has a great challenge because the material world is so distracting and so degraded. And for your age group, peer pressure, the pressure of your friends on what to do and what not to do is very great. So to resist all that influence, which is quite negative for spiritual life, we really need friends who are devotees. So you should have some discretion, perhaps, on who you can be friendly to everyone, but the people that you're actually close to, that you share your heart with, you want those people to be devotees of Krishna.
My eighth question is, what would have been his message for our parents?
You wanted the parents, the responsibility of the parents, the mother and the father, is to see that their children don't take birth again and not enter another womb. So that's a grave responsibility, and it's not easy to do. And the best way to do it is for the parents themselves to be devotees, to set the example of what is a devotee. So instead of telling the children see. If they see their parents are devotees and their parents are happy and satisfied, that is the very best thing for the children and the parents.
How did you balance between your service and personal life?
Well, I find in my own life that it's very important to go to bed early, because when I go to bed early, then I get up early, and then before my service, filmmaking service or other service starts, I have many hours where I can chant japa and read Šrila Prabhupada's books and do some other service that's not directly related to film, maybe indirectly. But those hours are very important for me to have that balance that I'm speaking of.
How did you start your Krishna conscious journey?
That is a very long story, and I just recently released a book about that, a memoir. It's called 5 Years, 11 Months, and a Lifetime of Unexpected Love. So, rather than tell that very long story, I would direct people to that book.
What message do you want to give to children my age?
Well, the fundamental message is to always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, which sounds very easy, but is actually very, very challenging. But if we can keep that in mind and find the ways and means to remember Krishna and not forget Krishna, one of the major ways is having friends or devotees, but also finding something we love to do and finding a way we can do that for Krishna. Everyone loves to do something, so whatever it is you love to do, find a way to do that thing for Krishna, for Krishna's pleasure and Prabhupada's pleasure.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. I'm very fortunate. I request to all devotees that please watch the movie.
Good timing.